Hey, how you doing? Adrian here with bestformyfeet.com. Welcome to this video in which I'm gonna share with you what's inside a pair of Blundstone steel-toe work boots. This is the model BL990, and I've had these boots for my construction work, and I, as always do, after wearing them for a few months, at least 6 months, I cut them in half in order to learn more about the boot myself and to geek out with you guys that you like to see this kind of stuff. I'll leave you a link in the description if you want to check out the review of these work boots. This is not a review, we're just gonna cut them in half and see what's inside, make a few comments about what we found, what we find in the boot, and that's it basically. Let's go. Alright, so the first thing that stood out to me straight away is the heel height, like the whole thing, right? The outsole, the midsole, the footbed, and the insole adds up a little bit over 2 inches in height, which is quite a lot. In all honesty, I personally don't have or I don't wear work boots that have this type of height in a heel, because most of the times I'm on concrete, tarmac, or rough terrain, but it's compressed and it's solid. So if I wear high heels boots like logger style or lineman style or anything that has a high heel, is gonna be very painful for me on my calves and on the legs in general and the lower back. Having said that, these boots were very comfortable, and that's mostly due to the midsole that comes with in this boot. That's at the beginning I thought it was polyurethane because it looks like polyurethane. It's soft like polyurethane, but it's something that's called XRD. In all honesty, I don't know much about this technology, but it's impact absorption technology specifically designed for enhanced comfort and durability. You can find this on safety shoes and sport shoes and many other products really. I'll leave you a link in the description to the Rogers Corporation website, which is the company that created this technology, and you can learn more if you want. Moving on, the outsoles on these Blundstone boots are made of rubber. It's harder material than the XRD that we find in the midsole, and that helps with the durability of the boot, of course. It's about 0.33 inches in thickness at the heel area and a little bit less on the forefoot area. Alright, moving on, we have this sock liner or footbed. I don't know how you call it exactly. Some people call it different things. But it's just a fiberboard piece of material that's glued to the midsole. Okay, right on top of the footbed we have this insole. This is made of polyurethane. It's very soft, provides a lot of cushioning. You can see the different layers in here. Also, we have a little bit of poron under the forefoot area, and it comes as well with little holes in here that provides ventilation, allow your feet to breathe better. It also has a little bit of arch support. They call it comfort arch. Now, a piece of advice here. First of all, this insole is great for this particular boot because, as we'll see in just a second, the boot has a very high arch built in already. So if you want, if you like to wear different type of insoles like I do, depending on the boot, I buy different insole, and I always have some insoles around. As you can see, this PowerStep Insole has a very aggressive arch support, and it's also rigid. It's very rigid. You can't even bend it. Whereas the Blundstone one is very flexible. You don't want to have this PowerStep insole or anything like this in these Blundstone boots because, as I said already, of the built-in arch, high arch, and if you put this one as well inside of the boot, your feet are going to sit so high inside of this boot that it's gonna be so comfortable, so uncomfortable, and it's going to create a lot of pain. So if you decide to put different insoles when you have to change these ones, or you just have to they become stinky and you want to wash and swap between them, right? Then buy something similar, something that's comfortable, cushiony, provides a lot of cushion, and has a flexible arch and low arch. Great stuff. I've already hinted at the high arch on this boot. I've never had a boot with such a high arch. Maybe this is not that high for you if you're usually doing outdoor, maybe landscaping, maybe you're a logger, maybe you work on the power lines and all that, where you will have to wear high heel boots with high arch. Then this is not that much for you. But most of the times, as I said earlier, I'm on tarmac, I'm on flat surfaces, concrete, polished concrete, unpolished concrete. So most of the boots that I wear, they are either completely flat, like the Thorogoods, or they have a little bit, but just a little bit of a heel, like any other that you see in the clip here. In all honesty, it didn't make any difference to me. As long as I didn't put the other insoles like the PowerStep or EasyFeet or any other that I have in here that come with a high arch. And also keep in mind that I don't have, I just have a regular foot, regular arch. I don't have a high arch, I don't have flat feet. And I don't think this is the best boot for you if you have flat feet, by the way. The arch on this boot might put a little bit of pressure on your arch, and it might make it uncomfortable. I'm not 100% sure. If you have flat feet and you had these boots, let me know what was your experience in the comments below. One positive thing about this boot is that it comes with an anti-scuff toe cap reinforcement, which is made of TPU. It's harder than, of course, the leather, so it's not going to be easy to scratch and damage the toe cap. Especially those of you that need to kneel a lot, need to bend, need to flex, mechanics, electricians, plumbers, you know how it is. That this part of the boot, it's the one that gets damaged most of the times in a steel toe cap or any safety toe cap boot. And when I see this particular feature in a work boot, I'm always curious to know if the leather goes all the way through, like under the toe cap reinforcement, or just ends where the toe cap reinforcement starts. And this is because I don't think, if it doesn't go through, I don't think it's necessarily that much helpful, because the toe cap reinforcement can get scratched, you can cut it as well, and that will leave you with the steel toe cap exposed. And I've seen in some construction sites where health and safety were very, very strict, they would ask you to either put other boots or just leave the site, because apparently they're not safe to use. I don't know if that's the case, but hey, in this case, as you can see, the leather stops where the toe cap bumper starts as well, and you just have a little bit of foam under that, which it's a bummer. But hey, I personally didn't have any issue. As you can see, I didn't manage to break the toe cap reinforcement. But some of you that are much harder on boots than I am might find this helpful. Excellent. I know that some of you asked how thick the leather is on these Blundstone steel toe work boots, and it's 2.5 millimeters. It's more or less what I've seen in most of my work boots. Usually they're less than 2.5 millimeters. So this one, I consider it to be a good leather. I'm not a leather expert, but this is quite thick based on what I've seen with other boots that I cut in half. The elastic panels on these boots are heavy duty, but at the same time They're flexible enough to allow you to take off your boots easy and put them on just as easy. These elastic panels are glued and stitched to the upper of the boot, and I really think you need a lot of force, a lot of strength to break them, or to damage this elastic. So I think they're quite durable. Remember that these work boots from Blundstone, they come with a steel toe cap. Personally, I didn't have any issues whatsoever with the space inside the toe cap. I know some of you, because you have wider feet or whatever, it might feel uncomfortable. But I'm a D when it comes to boot size and width, and I didn't have any issues whatsoever whilst I was wearing these boots. This is the only piece of lining you'll find, if you consider this lining, of course, inside the boot, which is this piece of foam, I think it is. I'm not 100% sure, but other than that, the boot is not lined, and is not waterproof either. There's no membrane, so there's pros and cons, of course, as always, but not having lining and not having the waterproof membrane makes these Blundstone's work boots good for summer. Actually, this was my second pair of work boots for summer. I have the Keen Lansing and these ones before, of course, cut them in half. Now, I don't know why this is the case, but if you go to Blundstone website to read the specifications of this boot, you'll see that they say the boot comes with a steel shank. Now, after cutting this Blundstone boot in half, the 990 model, I couldn't find a steel shank. I think this is a plastic shank. This is a fiberglass or plastic shank. So I don't know what's the confusion there. Maybe whoever's writing the description for the website, they put it there wrong, or maybe I got a different model. I don't know, but this is definitely not a steel shank. In terms of how the boot is built, if you haven't seen already, the boot is put together by a method called direct attach, where the upper is attached to the sole by just glue them together. Obviously, there's always some pros and cons to anything, and the obvious con in this case is that you cannot resole the boots, or at least you cannot resole them easily, assuming that you're maintaining the upper in good condition. In case I missed anything, I'll leave you a link in the description to this article, which is simply the written version of this video, which is always more updated. I can go back and put some news or updates in the article. So if there's something I missed, let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, cutting my Blundstone steel toe work boots in half. I hope this was useful to you in any way. I'm Adrian for bestformyfeet.com. See you in the next video. Bye bye.